Right, hey guys, what's up? It's Tom from PT Mastermind here, and welcome to episode number 2 of the Knowledge Bombs series. Now, this is a show where each of my guests has literally 7 minutes to drop some serious knowledge bombs to help you get more leads, close more sales, and create the business and lifestyle that you really want. So my guests are going to be a mix of 6, 7, 8-figure entrepreneurs, and they're not just from the fitness industry, but these guys are experts in their own field of, marketing, sales, social media, business growth, and a whole lot more. So today's guest is an interesting one. I don't really have much of a clue who this guy is. The only reason I've got him on here is because a couple of people, they mentioned they really respect what he does, and they just said, you should bring this guy on, he knows his shit, and he really knows his shit when it comes to sales. So everybody welcome Ryan Stewman. How's it going, Ryan?
Hey, thanks for having me on the show, man. I'm excited to be here.
All good, Ryan. Right, listen, you've got 7 minutes to drop some serious knowledge bombs about sales. We want strategies, we want tactics, we want some actionable advice that these guys can go away and implement in the business today. So we're going to be starting in 3, 2, 1. Let's go.
Well, given the fact that your audience is mostly personal trainers and people in the health and fitness industry, I'll give you some sales tips, some sales talks that will help you convert more people. I watch the guys at the gyms that I've worked out at, and they charge $25, $50 an hour. They stand there with a clipboard and they try to. It's like car salesmen. Like as soon as someone walks through the door, they jump on them and try to get them to sign up for personal training and everything else. And I know that your audience is different. They probably majority of them do private personal training and stuff like that. But one of the things that I see personal trainers try to sell is personal training, and nobody wants that stuff, man. Like most people don't like to exercise, right? Most people don't like to be told that they need to alter their diet. I like to eat junk food. I just ate like a whole thing of goldfish right now, right? Because I keep a good case of the munchies. I don't want a personal trainer to tell me that I can't do that anymore, but I know in order to get the specific results I need, whether it's to gain control of my health, whether it's because my doctor said that I was going to die because if I didn't get my act together, or it's because my wife, girlfriend, significant other said that maybe I was fat and out of shape and I need to get it together before she leaves me because she's really been eyeing the gardener lately. Like I don't know what it is that underlying problem may be with me, but most personal trainers try to sell you on the fact that, they try to sell you that you can look like them. And we all know that most personal training clients don't end up looking like most personal trainers, so it's unfathomable. Just like if I was to hop on here and say, hey, you can make $100,000 a month as a personal trainer, most of your audience would go, dude, this guy, obviously doesn't know our industry because that's impossible. But on the flip side, I have friends that are in the personal training sphere that make $100,000 a month, some of them $500,000 a month on a regular basis by just simply following these specific principles. You have to make up your mind if you're going to go down one of 2 tracks here as a personal trainer. You're going to have to make up your mind if you're going to serve on a small level and work with a large amount of people for, let's say, $25 an hour or a session or whatever, and you're going to drive all over town and meet them, or you can leverage your business and you can actually work with bunches of people on a major level in a major way. So, for example, instead of trying to meet somebody at a physical location, you can use like what we're doing here, the Google Hangout, to stream directly to someone's living room, maybe 2 or 3 people at a time, and you can actually click through the links at the bottom, just like how you see me now. And now you see him. Now back to me, right? Just like that, and you can actually see what different people are doing as they work out. Imagine, so let's just say you decided to keep your services at that same, and I'm just using rough numbers here, that same $25 an hour. When the gym, maybe you can have 2 people, right? Maybe that person's got a partner that they'll bring in, and then maybe they try to work a deal out for $40 an hour for the training session or whatever. But what if you could have 8, maybe 12 people that you're all training at once? They're all going through the same exercise. You're able to manage all of them right here through this webinar, and you're able to charge each of them $25 for the same hour, and it's no more work for you. You don't have to be in multiple places. You don't have to deal with people trying to work a deal, because these people don't even know each other. They just know that at a specific time they better have their fat asses in the living room on a yoga mat in front of their computer with the Hangout turned on, ready to do what you say, because you go get them into shape, right? So that's one of the things.
And the thing is, Ryan, my mentor, he does semi-private training, and he trains 8 people at a time in person, right? And he's still charging top whack, and that's 8 times however much, and he prices it in programs. So yeah, I'll let you continue.
Yeah, and and the other thing that, like I said, people don't want to buy personal training. They want to buy a solution to a specific problem they have, whether it be health or whatever. I know that if you can guarantee me results too, and that's a huge thing. Like the personal trainers I work with, they serve on a huge level, right? They're like promising people these dramatic results because they're willing to get in the trenches and stick with them no matter what. So instead of saying, yeah, hey, work out, we're going to meet together for an hour a week over the next 90 days, the guys I know, they're like, hey, I'm going to go and you're going to get on the hang time with me. We're going to go in your closet or FaceTime. We're going to go in your, not your closet, that would be really weird. We're going to go in your pantry and we're going to pull all your fat guy food out. We're going to get rid of all that stuff. I'm going to call you once a day and check in on you. We're going to weigh once a day. We're going to hold you accountable. I'm going to give you best practices. I'm going to give you a list of meals to cook for the week. I'm going to be there 1,000,000% for you until this 90 days is up and you've lost that 1,000,000 pounds that you need to lose, or whatever the case may be. Obviously, you can tell that I've never been in the personal training space, but I do, like I said, have a lot of people that are in there, so I don't know like the necessary terminology. But I know that if you sell a person personal training versus the fact that eventually they're going to have to shell out $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 for gastric bypass surgery over and over again if they don't shape up and get their act together and get someone that can help them control their diet and their fitness regimen, that problem's never going to solve itself, right? There's people in my number one sales guy always says this. He's like, people will spend $100 after $100, $100 here, $100 there, $50 here on this pill, this vitamin, and then over the course of 5 years, they will have spent, $25,000 sometimes on different supplements trying to solve a problem that gastric bypass may have been able to solve for $10,000 with follow-up, or that personal training may have been able to solve for $5,000 with some follow-up and some accountability, right? And so people will spend millions of times, like in this scenario, thousands of times the cost to try to find a shortcut as they will to just pay the short amount of time. And that's why I say if you sell the actual problem that they're facing, right? My wife's going to leave me because I'm fat. Instead of saying, well, you can personal training and get muscles like me, it's like, well, your wife's going to leave you if you don't get into shape. What does that mean? How much money is that going to cost you? You're a millionaire, sir. It's $500,000 gone out of your pocket just because you refuse to run a couple of miles a day. How does that sound, fat boy? You want another Twinkie? Really? Like, that's just my style. That may be not the nice, empathetic personal training style, but they don't call me the hardcore closer for nothing. So how are we doing on time?
Yeah, we got 48 seconds left.
Oh, well, it's just about the right time then. I thought we were somewhere around 7 minutes.
Yeah. Have you got any killer questions that you ask in your consultations that you could sort of mold for a personal trainer?
Yeah, the best question to always ask anybody, anytime on a sales conversation, especially if they've reached out to you. My favorite is, hey, what made you decide to reach out to me? So many people immediately go into trying to sell their product or pitching their stuff, but I always ask everybody, so what made you decide to reach out to me? In the case of personal training, hey, what brings you to my location, or what brings you to my website? What made you decide to reach out to me? Let them unload their problem, and then you can start paying attention to what's going on. Instead of starting to pitch your personal training business right up front, ask somebody, hey, what made you decide to reach out for personal training in the first place? And they're not going to say, well, it's because I want to work out, right? They're going to say, my wife's going to leave me. My doctor said I need to get healthy. Obviously, you can tell that I need to lose weight. Then you're going to be able to find sort of that root of the problem in the beginning right there, so you can start selling to it through your process of talking to them.
We're done. So we went just a little bit over there, but that was all really good stuff, Ryan. Finding out their deeper reason why is probably the key to unlocking people's emotions and getting them invested in the outcome, right? Because personal trainers are selling outcomes, and we all are. We're selling results. Like you said, if you can guarantee results, then that's going to increase the trust, the certainty that you're going to help them get there. If you can say, listen, I'll give you all your money back if at the end of these 12 weeks you don't get the results that I promised you. Obviously, you have to follow everything that I've said and everything that I tell you to do. But if someone's committed, and let's say if they're committed at a high level, let's say 5 or 10 grand, that's a high level of commitment, and that's going to enable them to think, right, well, I've got a lot of skin in the game here, which is incredibly important. You don't want a trainer who's charging, like over here, 20, 30 quid an hour is pretty cheap, right? And if you're selling sessions, like blocks of 10 sessions, it's just not effective as, if you compare that to like a 12-week program. where they're committed for a certain amount of weeks with a certain amount of sessions per week, instead of trying to, I'll take a session here, I'll do a session here, and like 10 sessions might last 12 weeks, but they don't get the result.
Right.
So, listen, Ryan, thanks for jumping on today. It's been really interesting to speak to you. How can people find out more about you and what you do? You're the hardcore closer, so if people need help with the sales, like, where can they hear more from you?
Just go over to hardcorecloser.com. I write, therefore I am, right? I have all sorts of really interesting comedic writings over there, making fun of salespeople and stuff. So just go over to hardcorecloser.com and check it out. If you like what you read, just subscribe. If you really like what you read, by all means, put your credit card in somewhere and buy some of my shit, please. So.
Awesome, Ryan. It's been good to have you on today, and we'll see you later.
Later, man. Thanks for having me.